Thank you.
Thank you, Plumberfield, for the 2 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Way to start out the stream, eh? But hope you're enjoying the Accelerated Dragon. We're going to continue the speedrun so you can learn even more. But yeah, I'm very happy to hear how well the course has been received. I am actually planning on also creating a starting out course against 1d4. Hopefully that is something that you guys will be interested in as well. So let me know. And by the way, there's one thing I wanted to hello Haynes, good to see you. We are so back. Hello 4RC2 Russ, good to see you guys. There's also one thing I wanted to say is that the speedrun is something I already had in mind that I actually was already doing since mid-September. Mainly to supplement the course and also to supplement for future courses, because I also consider also thinking to do a 1d4 course, and then the Queen's Gambit speedrun is already up on YouTube, and we're probably also we're doing the speedrun against 1d4, and then we already have material against that. But that was really the whole point behind the speedrun, right? I know Danya, he was famous for his speedruns, but just wanted to make it clear that in no way I'm trying to replace him or anything like that. Because I mean, Danya obviously was the GOAT. Nobody can replace him. But that was the whole point. That's the whole point behind the speedrun. Ah yes, Plumberfield. But at some point, we're gonna face more open Sicilians. Because, we're pushing the rating up and up. Right now we're 1700. The goal is to push to 2500. At some point we'll see that more and more. Hello, Luigi. Good to see you, huh? Hello. Am I going to play some Gambits in a speedrun? The Queen's Gambit? How does that sound, huh? Alright, so yeah, wanted to make that clear to everybody, and I hope all of you guys are doing well. I guess I'll just log into my other account. No, other than that, not really, Daisame. I'm not really a Gambit guy, honestly. Thank you, Shoko Addict T. Thank you. Yeah, I was pretty happy with my performance, with my final result in the US Masters. I think that some of the games could have been better, but like I said, very satisfied with the final result. Alright, anyway. But I also hope that you guys have been enjoying the Global Chess League, which is currently going on. Alright, so fine. Let me log into my other account, and I guess we'll just get started. Yeah, this should be fun. Because we left off at 1700. Alright, so let me log in. Alright, sure, you can be my friend. Alright. We'll see. We're currently at 1700. If we could reach 1750, that'd be great. I mean 1800 would be great. 1750 would also be okay. Anyway, I'll step away for just one quick second, but everyone get in here. Feel free to, post some comments, some questions in the chat. And of course, I'll respond to all of those when I will get back. So yeah, give me a quick second and I'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. All right, we are so back. Sorry. Anyway, I hope all of you guys. Hello, Spenny. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks. Sorry, I forgot to click the unmute button. Hope all of you guys are doing well. Hello, Itratosi. Sorry about that, but have fun at the local chess club. That's awesome. Hello, cats. Play chess very well. Hello, sandwiches. Hello, DKME. I am 1750 on chess.com in Rapid. What opening should I learn? Because I play a lot of different ones because I want to enjoy the game. Well, you came to a great place at a great time, DKME, because we're continuing our speedrun where I'm 1700. And yes, you should absolutely play the Accelerated Dragon. Here, I created a great course for all of you guys that is very accessible and digestible for all levels. I think the Accelerated Dragon is great. It's very easy to learn, very easy to play, and it's fun. So check it out. All right. I am not bored, high 4, or h4. Yeah, no, like, I'm really happy to see how well it has been received. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. No. All right, anyway, let's get going. We left off at 1700 on the dot, and we're going to continue. Yeah, thanks for putting that out, pre-kick. Appreciate it. All right, anyway. Thank you, Mafia. Thank you. All right, okay. Let's continue where we left off. Okay, so let's start up a game. And we are playing with black. Let's see. Let's see. Welcome back, everyone. For today's video, we'll be continuing our speedrun. All right, so he goes g3. So there's a few things we can do. If he does not put a pawn in the middle with e4 or d4, we can actually occupy the center ourselves. Let's go ahead and do so with the move d5. Also e5, of course, perfectly fine. And we see here, generally, I recommend we put one pawn in the middle. But what is better than one pawn in the middle? Two pawns in the middle. So let's do that. Okay, you go c4. Interesting. Hitting the pawn. I can defend it with c6 if I want to. Can also grab even more space with the move d4. Thank you, Mbopi. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the 2 months.
Long time no see.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I can also take, but let's go ahead and go c6. Build a big center here with black. He can take. I will recapture. Okay, takes. Let's recapture. And it goes knight c3, hitting the pawn. But now d4 looks quite tempting to me. So let's go ahead and play it. I think it's a good move. Let's go ahead and go d4. We hit the knight, which is lacking a stable square, I would say. Slang. Slang is saying, I've been needing a black opening. Having trouble lately in the advanced car moving up the rating ladder. Dude, you also came to the right place at the right time. Accelerated Dragon. I'm telling you, people keep telling me they keep getting stuck in the Caro because they're cramped for space, but the Accelerated Dragon is great because you actually do have the space. 94, by the way, I think is a mistake. Let's go ahead and go f5, and I think it's just trapped. e3. Okay. If I take, he maybe has this check. So think here for a second. I can move my king, though. It's actually a little bit tricky. But I don't think this should quite work out. I can probably get away with this. He takes here, go king f7. And then let's say he takes, I go knight f6. I think I'm safe to take the knight. So let's go ahead and do so. All right, let's see what he's going to do. Okay, but this doesn't make any sense. He absolutely had to play here. The only move to justify losing a piece. Now I can just take. I ideally would want to take with the pawn. But this check is a little bit worrisome, so I'm going to take with the queen. And like I said, we're up a full piece now. This is comfortably blocked with the move g6. 92, okay, he's hitting our queen. I think queen e3 is fine. I want to hang on to this pawn. I mean, it doesn't matter that much. But let's just go here. So I'm hanging on to the pawn, and I can strengthen that even further with knight f6. Bishop g4, but I also move. But he might have here. Let's just go knight f6. I'm up a piece. The only thing we have to keep in mind is that we catch up in development. and that we get our king out of the center quickly. Let's go knight c6, develop the other knight as well. Indeed, it is moves. It is. That is actually still, to this date, one of my biggest successes of my chess career. Yeah, 10 years ago. 10 years ago. All right, it goes here, hitting the pawn. Let's defend it with... I mean, I might lose a pawn, but I get the queens off the board. Which is definitely worth it. Hello, Suzanne. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Lots of great people in the chat, eh? Hope all of you guys are doing well. Appreciate all of you guys. He takes. I can take with the pawn, can take with the knight. I like taking with the knight because my knight gets more active, so let's go ahead and do so. But yeah, my whole idea was with this stream was to do a stream that is not only EU, but also North American friendly, right? So both the people from Europe and Asia, of course, and it's actually friendly for all time zones. It's actually friendly for all time zones. So let's go bishop c5, develop the bishop to an active square. But, sorry, the reason why I decided to do this stream is because now the people from Europe and Asia can watch, but also Europe, Asia, and the people from North America, from the US and Canada. Or, you know, Mexico, you know, South America, right? It's friendly for all time zones. I mean, it's difficult. What time is it? Okay, so d3 played. Let's go bishop h3, develop the bishop with tempo. Let's see, what time is it in Australia? Oh, yeah, I mean, I cannot make everyone happy. I'm sorry. It's 3:22 a.m. in Australia. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, anyway, so bishop g2, I can take. I can also, by the way, do this. Trade, and take here. And I kind of like that idea because we're up in material and therefore trades are good for us. So, you know, let's go knight e2. As a rule of thumb, if you're up in material, you want to trade. So let's give a check. Trade the bishops. Trade the knight for the bishop. He's going to recapture. Now, ideally, I'd love to put my bishop on d4, but it allows this. So I might just go here to be a little safer. Let's go here. I mean, I defend this, I cover the square, and now the rest is going to be pretty simple. We just continue sticking to the plan. Let's go king d7. We're in an endgame, so our king is completely safe in the middle. No need to castle. I actually like it more in the middle, because you can just use the king as an extra piece. Okay, he goes there. I guess he's aiming to go d4. So let's perhaps go rook e8, so that if he goes d4, I can just trade and get even more trades in. So, yep, let's go ahead and do that. We already anticipated for d4. He takes. Let's recapture. And this endgame should be a very easy win. We're up a piece, so now we're simply going to hunt some pawns, and he simply will not be able to defend them because he doesn't have the pieces to do so. b3. We say thank you very much. Hello, Thornick. Great to see you. All right, rook h4, hitting the pawn, but we can just defend it with h6. All right, he goes rook g4, hitting the pawn, and go g5 and defend it. Sure, let's go g5. Oh, yeah. No, really sorry for, you know, all the people in Australia for what happened. Really sad that such things happen in the world, but I hope everyone's doing okay. Okay, let's hit the pawn. All right, and we get a nice win here with black. All right, so let's go ahead and analyze the game. So like I said, if our opponent doesn't put any pawns in the middle with e4 or d4, we can just grab the center ourselves. So d5, g2, c5, you go c4. Now here, perhaps d4, strictly speaking, might be the best move, but also absolutely nothing wrong with c6, simply strengthening our center. Now he took, I recaptured. Knight c3 is already quite risky, because after d4, he does not have a good square for the knight. And this actually quite reminds me of like the Alpin. Like why we cannot always go for the Accelerated Dragon setup. Let's have a look. Like let's say white goes e4, we go c5. Now generally speaking, against almost anything white does, we can go knight c6 and g6, bishop g7. However, if our opponent goes c3 with the goal to build a big center with d4 next, here we should respond differently And I recommend the move, both in my videos and in my course. I recommend the move knight f6, hitting the pawn. The point is to lure the pawn forward. Then we go here and we're going to attack that pawn with knight c6 and d6. Anyway, but the reason why you should not go knight c6 is that white can build a big center. And if you go g6, that makes things only worse. Because white goes d5, hitting the knight. And we can pretty much never goes here, because white goes f4. And we saw that play out in the game. Because in the game, he went g3, I went d5, he went here, I went e5, grabbing the center, c4, c6. So it turns into a bit of a reversed Alapin. He takes, I recapture, and knight c3, already a mistake, because I go d4 and his knight has nowhere to go. Probably has to move back, but he went forward. Now let's see who's been paying attention. Both you guys in the live chats right now on Twitch and YouTube, and we're also live on Kick. And also for those of you who are watching this later on YouTube, what is the move here for black? Feel free to pause your video and try to figure it out. Chess is all about pattern recognition. And we can apply that right here. Good question, Ezra Cock. When is the Queen's Gambit? My next course will probably be the Slav defense. Maybe after that, a 1d4 course. All right, but indeed, very good, everyone. Very good. We go pawn f5 and we trap the knight. Excellent. That's what I did. And we're winning the game. He goes e3. This was actually a little bit tricky. Perhaps I was a little bit quick to take. Because here, absolutely, queen h5 check should have been played. And the thing is that this pawn is undefended. So what I should have done to be very safe is go knight c6. With the point that if I now ever take, this is defended. So queen h5 check can always be met with g6, as this is not available. So good to know. Anyway, I was thinking if he does give this check to go, let's say, to e7, he can take. I'll go here, and yes, he has some compensation, but I'm up a piece, and it's definitely not enough with knight f6 and knight c6 coming. My king is still relatively safe. All right. Anyway, he just took, and now he's down a full piece because I recapture. This is defended. He went here, queen e3, and like I said, we're up a full piece, and the game is just over. He goes here. I develop. Okay, just offer the queen trade. Yes, we lose a pawn in the process, but that's completely fine because we get a lot of trades in. And as a rule of thumb, when you're up in material, you want to trade. All right, so he went here. I play bishop h3. Developing with tempo. Once again, guys, do not underestimate the effectiveness of developing or making moves that come with tempo. He went here, and I could have traded, but I like the idea of getting 1, 2 trades in. And here, we're up a bishop in the endgame. Bishop d4 perhaps is the best move, but it allows this. So no need to allow any counterplay, which is why I went here. Defending this, covering c7, and now the rest is very easy. We just move up our king. I was going to initiate some rook trade. But he goes here. I went here just to anticipate this, which is what he played. Now we get another trade in. And here we see that our extra bishop is just way too much for him to handle. I mean, he does not have the move rook b4 available because of that piece. And so we can simply go pawn hunting, and the rest is very simple. So nice and clean win. Hope all of that makes sense to everyone. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game. All right, and we are playing with white. Let's go 1d4. So this is going to be part of our Queen's Gambit speedrun. So welcome back, everyone. For today's stream and video, we're going to continue the Queen's Gambit. Okay, so d5, we go c4, the Queen's Gambit. By the way, on that note, my congratulations to my good friend Hikaru. He got a baby, but both to Hikaru and a Tusam. Congratulations to them. Really happy for them. All right, so he takes the pawn on c4. We can go knight f3, but we can also, the most ambitious move here is definitely the move e4. Building the big center and aiming to recapture the pawn. All right, so let's see what he's going to do. Um, all right, e4 definitely the most ambitious move, putting a second pawn in the middle, and this is really the point of the Queen's Gambit. You wanna get two pawns in the middle, because now that pawn is gone, we can put a second pawn in the middle. And now he's thinking like, wait, what? Like, but of course he should have kept this in mind when he took our pawn. But he did not. All right, let's see what he's gonna do. Good question, Savage. I mean, Savage, I think just the comp puzzles will be good for you. All right, so b5. We want to undermine the pawn chain with the move a4. So let's go ahead and do so. All right, bishop d7. I mean, yes, that defends this. But then after that, the c4 pawn will be extremely fragile. So let's go ahead and take. All right, you're welcome. He recaptures. Knight a3 is a move, but I think I like knight c3 even better. So we hit the bishop. We go c6, makes a lot of sense. Let's go ahead and go b3 as we increase the pressure on c4. If he takes, then we can take here and we can maybe do some damage on that diagonal. All right, so let's see what he's gonna do. All right, by the way, you guys should also know that I feel like out of a lot of streamers, I probably have pretty high tolerance for chatters. But please be nice in the chat. People rarely get banned here, or they rarely get blocked. But, don't, behave in the chat. We have free speech here, which is good. But, be nice in the chat. All right. Okay, anyway, let's see what he's gonna do. Okay, he takes, but this is quite risky, as now we can take over here. He's gonna recapture, and we can take again, and this check will be quite unpleasant. He still has 97, but it feels like he's on the edge. All right, so let's go ahead and take. We check. Yep. No, okay, 97. Okay, so here I can simply take the pawn with a good position. I can also go knight f3 with the idea 95. Let's have a look. So let's say I take. The idea is that if he goes here, I have e5, but he probably just goes e6 first. And then if I go here, maybe then here, I like the idea of knight f3. Let's say he goes here. Then by the e5 is also a move, but let's say I go here, e6. There's also this check. I can. Well, let's just regain the pawn for now. Let's see what he's going to do. We're definitely better, but I also don't think we're crushing per se. Yeah, Queen's Gambit accepted definitely happens, and that's why it's part of this speedrun as well. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. We're definitely better here. We have a very unpleasant for him pin on the knight on d7. By the way, as we are climbing up the rating ladder, let me know if anyone has any questions about some of the videos that I've been putting out, about the courses that I've been putting out, or anything else that's going on in the chess world. Don't be shy to ask any questions in the chat. I am with black. I have been playing the Slav defense. Good question. Figured it out. Someone's asking, Ben, if you're European, why does your accent more closely resemble an American one? Well, I have spent a lot of time in the US. Figured it out, because I was a student there at St. Louis University, and I lived there pretty much for 7 years. So that's why. And I'm trying to improve my English. No, he does. I think you mean this, but that hangs a queen. He does not have a fork. And he goes e6, okay, makes sense. Let's go knight f3, develop the knight. Can maybe go knight e5 on the next turn. The reason why I didn't want to do this right away is that this check was a little bit annoying. Okay, knight f6 makes sense. I think I like knight e5. And then maybe bishop g5 afterwards. So let's go knight e5. If I go bishop g5 right here, he goes here. If I go here, castles. Although, I think this could also be good. Maybe h6 though. If I take. I think I like knight e5. Let's go knight e5. I like the idea of knight e5 coupled with bishop g5. And I think the pressure is just a little too much here for black. But let's see. Maybe he's going to find a way out. Oh, yeah. Castles. Castles. All right, thank you. No, yeah, like I said, I understand my English is not perfect, but I'm trying to improve. Thank you. Hope all is well. Hope all of you guys are doing well. All right, rook b8. We can take, or we can take here. Take here. He might have that. Let's see. So takes here also a serious option. I think I might like that better. Bishop d6 is there. I mean, knight c6, by the way, the easiest way to win. I wanted to do something fancy, but I don't quite see. You know, go here, 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 here. Let's just keep it very simple. Let's go knight c6 with the fork on the queen and the rook. There might have been better moves. I really like a move like this as well, but this one is just easier. And, you know, sometimes in a game of chess, you don't necessarily have to go for the best move or the most spectacular move, but just for the move that is easiest. Queen a4 also would have been a good move, h4, but this creates a fork, so I think this move is better. Alright, let's see what he's going to do. He goes queen b6. Alright, the whole point of knight c6 was to take, so let's go ahead and do so. He's going to have to recapture. And now here, it looks like this wins the queen, but he can recapture and it's still defended. White is, of course, completely winning after this, as we would be up in exchange and a pawn. But I think even better is the move e5, as we hit the knight, and if the knight moves, then we take, and then the queen is free. So let's go e5, hitting the knight. Let's see what he's going to do. What is that? I don't know why you have the permission at all those emotes. Anyway, let's see what black is going to do. As we're already up in exchange, we're going to win even more material here. Somebody is asking in the chat, do I think I can reach 2,000? What is this disrespectful question? My rapid rating on my own account is 2680, but no, I don't think I can reach 2,000. The disrespect. No, the goal is to push to 2,000 at least. The goal is more like to push to 2,500. 2,500 is the goal, which is ambitious, but I think it's doable. Oh, somebody was asking in the YouTube chat. Yeah, also a lot of people on Twitch. So yeah, big shout out to everyone watching on Twitch, YouTube, and on Kick. Okay, goes here, but that's his idea. Right, okay, makes some sense. If I take, he takes. I think then I might actually take, and not only do I trade, I actually have this. So let's go ahead and take the knight. Captures are, of course, the first type of move you should always look for. We probably could. Yep, okay. He takes. Now let's go ahead and take on d7. 2500 Google for beginners. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go ahead and give this check, as now we win the bishop as well. And we get a crushing victory with white. Like the queen's gambit, I'd say, perhaps in nature, is more of a positional opening. But things can also get a little bit aggressive if black accepts the gambit and we go e4 and we get the full center. Oh, no worries, Suzanne. No, if black accepts the gambit. Yeah. All right, let's see what he's going to do. At what level do I recommend studying strategy more than doing puzzles? I mean, at almost any level, puzzles are definitely the most important. But I'd say if you get around like 2000 over the board, you should definitely learn openings to a slightly deeper level. And also learn positional play a little bit better and the strategic ideas. I'd say in the speedrun I've been seeing a lot of Queen's Gambit decline with e6. Alright, let's see what he's gonna do. What is the best opening for white for 1500 elo? Good question, Lambeezy. That also depends on you. I'd say either e4 or d4, just one of the two. But one thing that is very important is because I see some people jumping from one opening to another, and they're like, oh, but Magnus and Hikaru, they also do that. Well, but they're Magnus and Hikaru, right? They can do that. If you're not at that level, pick one move, either d4 e4, and really try to master it, because mastering one of the two is already very, very difficult. So definitely just pick one move. I'd say either e4 or d4, and just stick with that. And like I said, this is a speedrun on 1d4. This will also all be uploaded to YouTube. And potentially in the future, I might make a course on 1d4 as well. Wait, what are you talking about? No, this is not pre-recorded, Suleiman. By the way, I think somebody... All right. Anyway, we win. Okay. Good stuff. Exactly. Figured it out. That is absolutely all you need. You need an opening for white, either e4 or d4. You need an opening for black against e4. You need an opening with black against d4. And then you're good. And that's what we're doing in the speedrun. All right, so we get a nice win. Once again, we play the Queen's Gambit. And he played the Queen's Gambit accepted. Now, the most ambitious move definitely is the move e4. The whole point, here's the thing. The whole point of d5 is to put a pawn in the middle. And one of the reasons why you put a pawn in the middle is also to stop your opponent from putting a second pawn in the middle. So I went c4, the Queen's Gambit. And with black, I have been recommending c6 to simply defend that pawn. The whole idea behind the gambit is that in case black takes, now we can get that second pawn in the middle, and we can probably get that pawn back anyway. As we see here, hanging on to the pawn is quite risky. b5 is fine, but almost always against b5 you want to go e4 to undermine the pawn chain. And here black absolutely should go c6 to keep the pawn chain intact. But he plays bishop d7. Now yes, after takes, he is defending this pawn, but it's super loose. After knight a3, I'm already guaranteed actually to win the pawn back, as I have a double attack on b5 and c4. But I felt like knight c3 was perhaps slightly more ambitious, as I hit the bishop. To c6 I have this move b3. So I'm hitting the pawn on c4 once more. He cannot defend it. And after this move, now we can take. And we give a check, he has to block with this. And now we just have this super unpleasant pin on the knight. Alright, and we're going to put a lot of pressure on the knight, because actually also for the moment it is not defended. Right, so I took, he went here, brought in the knight as well. Really trying to create a lot of pressure here, maybe bishop g5 as well, try to undermine this knight. He went here, and we have a lot of good moves. Oh, Oh, I was looking for something cool, and it is actually here. Knight c6 is actually the second best move, and a very easy one. Like I said, don't always look for the most spectacular move or whatever. If something is winning and it's good enough, then just do that. But the best move would have been to take and then take. Because if he takes the queen, we take here and we win. And if he does this, we take here. And it's not that we're just winning a pawn. He's actually getting completely destroyed. Because if he goes here, we go here, and it's simply checkmate. He cannot block. And if he goes here, he's also getting checkmated. Actually, any check on the c file will do. And he, once again, cannot block. So that would have been best, but this is also good, forking the queen and the rook. You win here, I take, and now, like I said, I can do this, and we're winning, but e5 even better, as we hit the knight, and if the knight moves, now we can take, and we win the queen. To be fair, he does have this check, but fortunately for us, we can do a little desperado. We can give up our queen for the bishop, so we don't lose a full queen, we lose the queen for the bishop, and so we're still up a rook here in this endgame. And, you know, we can also take here. The fun continues. But he did bishop c5. Interesting move. The idea is that if I take, he wanted this. But now I just take the knight. And we're up for rook. I took the knight. Check, picking up the bishop as well. And we got a very nice win. Alright, so hopefully that makes sense to everyone. Let's move on to the next game. Alright, and we are playing with black. He goes e4. Now, what do we do against e4? We go c5. Will I be streaming Title Tuesday tomorrow? Probably not, because I kind of want to focus a little bit more. Because also there's, you know, Esports World Cup qualification and Chess.com Global qualification on the line. Anyway, against knight f3, we go knight c6. He goes a3. Now, I know that Levy recommends a3 here. Against a3, by the way, I recommend g6. So, you know, let's be consistent with our setup. Let's go g6. I'm telling you guys, we can do this setup with c5, knight c6, g6, bishop g7 against almost anything. Against d4, we almost always take. I'm telling you guys, this is definitely the easiest opening to play. He recaptures, now we go bishop g7, hitting the knight. He takes, and here we almost always recapture with the b pawn. No, I don't think we faced the Grand Prix attack yet. No. Alright, he goes bishop c4. Let's go knight f6, develop the knight and hit the pawn. He goes e5. Falling right into my trap card. Black to play. A typical tactic here for the Sicilian. What can we do here with black? Black to play. What do we do? This is a typical tactic. Let's see who sees it. e5 is not a good move. Indeed. Very good, everyone. We have queen a5 check, and we simply collect the pawn. Excellent. Good job, everyone. So this move is available because white had not played knight to bishop d2. Okay. Let's go ahead and take. Now he needs to be careful. Bishop e3, e-cast, okay. But I think I can take another pawn. Knight e5 also an option, but he just takes. I think I like the idea of this. And I always tell you guys, hey, if there's something you can take, and you don't see why not, go ahead and take it. We can also, by the way, go d5. But it's not necessarily better. So let's just go ahead and take this pawn. So another pawn. Say less. Bishop d4, good move. Saving the rook, hitting the queen. Let's drop the queen back. Might seem a little bit counterintuitive to drop the queen all the way back, but it can actually still do some damage on this diagonal. He goes castles. Let's go ahead and, I mean, d5 makes a lot of sense. I like d5. Because it's a move that comes with tempo, putting the pawn in the middle. Let's see what he's going to do. And I'm potentially preparing ideas of knight g4. Turning checkmate and hitting the bishop. But can just go g3 for now. So I think for now I'll just castle. Keep my options open. e5 is definitely an option. Knight g4 an option. Okay, knight c3. Okay, if we go knight g4, he goes here. e5, he goes here. I think we'll just go e5 here. So we hit the bishop, he probably has to move it. Then we move the rook over. And we're up to very beautiful central pawns. He goes here, hitting my queen, but I can just go queen here as we attack the bishop. Let's see what he's going to do. It's a little bit unfortunate. If he goes here, we have d4, but it's not... I mean, it is a fork, but we're not actually threatening to take either piece because my d pawn would be pinned. So let's see what he's going to do. Good question, T-Check Twitch. I will just be playing the pool, but you know, if I'm playing the pool and I get paired with you, then you know, you're lucky. But my plan is just to play the pool. All right, like it. Okay, if he would have gone queen c7, he would have had here, so it's all good. Knight g4, perhaps also an idea. Or, you know what? Free pawn, say less. We like good food. We like free pawns here. All right, let's see what he's gonna do. Exactly, Koisi. In some lines, knight f6 definitely is the better move. He goes rook b3. Okay, fine. We've won a pawn. Let's go back. Okay, good luck. Okay, down 3 pawns. Okay, anyway, let's see what he's gonna do. We're doing pretty well here. I mean, d4 definitely was a move, but the thing is, I was not actually threatening to take one of the pieces. Okay, bishop g5 played. Let's go bishop a6. We develop the bishop with tempo. Let's see what he's going to do. Okay, he goes there. Let's go bishop c4, another move that comes with tempo. I mean, again, trades are good for us as we're up so many pawns. So let's see what he's going to do. He's going to have to move his rook. And yeah, we still have to convert this position into a win. But, you know, just slowly but surely improve the position. Okay. I cannot take as that hangs the queen, but he's completely forgetting about this. We can take with the knight. All right, he takes. Once again, I don't want to take as that hangs my queen. But let's just take the rook. As now we are up an exchange. We're up an exchange and a couple of pawns. Okay, one of our assets here is this a pawn, so let's push this pawn forward a little bit. Oh yeah, no, that's a great book by Silman. Yep. Okay, so c4 played. Good move. Trying to put a bit of pressure on my center. Let's go a4. Because if he takes, I can take, and if he takes, then I'm no longer pinned, and then I can actually take here. Okay, takes. Like I said, if I take, he has here. But we can do this first. And now if he takes, now we can take the rook. And we're up a full rook now. And 2 pawns. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. We still have to convert this into a full point. And the game is over. Okay, c5. Let's just take that. He's probably going to take here. Note that we do not have the back rank checkmate as the bishop is covering that. But let's go queen d5. Learning checkmate on d1. Let's see what he's going to do. Yeah. Okay, he goes queen b1. Let's go h6, hitting the bishop. Also creating a little bit of loft for my king. But I want to go rook d8. Because after rook d8, I'm threatening queen d1. And of course, okay, queen f3 would have been better, but it's all good. I mean, we get the queens off the board. And the rest is going to be really easy. Let's go e4, open on my bishop. Take away the square, but of course, everything is winning now. Is there. Let's go bishop d4. Once again, if your material traits are really effective. Takes, okay, we just recapture now the c-pawn. Can just march forward. Let's give a check. Alright, let's take. And we just push. The king is cut off, so there's nothing that can stop us from promoting this pawn. Alright, nice win here with black. So here, once again, we see the power of the Accelerated Dragon. The great thing is, Okay, so we meet e4 with c5. And the reason why I like c5 is that we stop white from putting a second pawn in the middle, as now d4 can be taken. But we also avoid the symmetry that would arise after the move e5. So that's why I like this move. And the setup with knight c6 and g6 is one that is almost always good. I kid you guys not. I'm not just saying that because I have a course in this opening. It is quite literally, I mean, in the open Sicilian, there's many good setups that black has. But very often it is the best setup to go for the bishop fianchetto. Yes, a lot of people have been asking about the Caro, but people also say the same reason why they don't like the Caro. The reason why a lot of people stop playing the Caro is because in these positions, they're often crammed. They're like, wait a second, I have like all of these pieces, and I have to play on these bottom bottom 2 or 3 ranks. This is really difficult. But that's why you don't push the pawn up 1, you push the pawn up 2. You go c5. And, right. And the idea is, once again, we're almost always going to go knight c6 and g6. Good question. Is it dinner time? If it's dinner time, then yes. All right. Anyway, so c5. And yeah, like I said, the point is that we almost always go knight c6 and g6. So he goes here, knight c6, a3 doesn't do anything. Like I said, in my course, I know that this is Levy's recommendation on one of his courses, and here I recommended we play g6. And the point is that now you can meet b4 with bishop g7. I know that Levy recommends a setup with knight c3 and bishop c4 and d3. If you want to know how to play against that, then, you know, you got to check out the course. Cannot give away all of my secrets. I'm already giving you guys a lot. Alright. Anyway. But the great thing is, even if you're taking out a book, you can still just go g6, followed by bishop g7. Alright, so here we take, bishop g7. And the great thing about this opening is that we almost always follow the same plans and ideas. And same thing here. So take, bishop c4, knight f6. And I already knew he was going to do this. He had to defend the pawn with knight c3. Now here you might have to pause and think whether you want to allow e5. But usually a good move to stop that is, let's say, queen c7. Anyway, he played e5, falling right into queen a5. Pretty typical tactic if the knight is not on c3 and simply winning a pawn. So he goes here, we take it, and hey, if there's something you can take and you don't see why not, go ahead and take. We win another pawn. Queen b8, and we build a big center with tempo. We castle, we build a big center with tempo. The queen on a good square. Once again, if there's something you can take and you don't see why not, go ahead and take it. So here, I draw back. Activate the bishop with tempo. It goes here, I take, and take, because, yeah, because I can. And okay, I start pushing the passed pawn. He goes here, a4, takes, I took. He had to go c5 here, because then he wins some material back. But after this, he shuts down a full rook, and the rest was very simple. All right, so yeah, he went here, I took, he went here, I went here. Initiated the trade, and of course the rest was very simple. All right, so nice win here with black. We're also, by the way, now in the 1700s, so I assume also, by the way, that a lot of people watching this might be in that rating range as well. So yeah, of course this endgame needs no explanation. This is a really easy win. How would I rank those variations? Taimanov, Kalashnikov, Khan, Classical Najdorf. All right, I would say Najdorf, Taimanov, Khan, Kalashnikov. That would be my ranking. Yeah. The Najdorf is definitely the best. I think everybody agrees. Like, that's all. Like, That's a H4 says that that's also what Gotham says. Knight of without a doubt is the best Sicilian. However, it's also quite demanding, right? For example, I had a student, and when he was pushing up the ranks, I first taught him the Accelerated Dragon because it's really easy. But now that he's getting better, we're now moving on to the Knight of, which is a great opening, but also a little bit more difficult to learn. And he has some nice wins, also some tough losses, but that's all part of the process. All right. All right. Anyway. Okay. Okay, we can do one more game. All right, and we are playing with white. So let's go 1d4. And he goes d5. So let's go c4, the queen's gambit. All right, and he accepts it. Now, once again, the most ambitious move is to go e4, putting a second pawn in the middle and aiming to regain the c4 pawn. Let's see what he's going to do. He goes e5. e5 is actually a good move. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe we're getting at the level where people are responding to e4 in a good way. So e5, I don't really want to take. I think here the move is knight f3. So let's go ahead and do so. All right, let's see what he's going to play. He takes, I believe now I take. We're down a pawn for the moment, but we have a lead in development. Let's see what he's going to do. Ah, interesting. Yeah, those are also great courses. Somebody's asking, what about the Peerts, King's Indian, and Modern? I definitely do not like the Peerts. Also not the Modern. Peerts and Modern, kind of the same thing. King's Indian, possible, but quite difficult, so I don't quite like it. Alright, Bishop c5. Tricky. Alright, can go 95. Wait, 95? Because if he goes here, I take... Wait. I take, and then queen h5. g6 here, queen h3. Has to be good. The point is, if he goes knight h6, we can take. That's why I don't want to go knight g5. Let's go knight e5. I think he has a really hard time defending this. The Ella pin is not necessarily the best, according to my good and a late friend, Dion Arditsky, but it's very practical. It's very practical. In the sense that black there's only two lines you really have to reckon with, which is knight f6 and d5. All right, bishop e6, so let's go ahead and trade. All right, he recaptures. And let's go queen h5 check. I think the Ella pin definitely is very nice. I think it's definitely a shortcut in the Sicilian. It's definitely a shortcut. I mean, like I said, you have to learn less lines. So I think if you don't want to overload yourself with theory, then I think the Ella pin makes a lot of sense, like you said. Yeah, Techno Hippie. I don't like the Peerts because you give white a full center, and it's really hard to play those positions with black on the bottom two or three ranks, and you're just making it too difficult for yourself. Once again, I like something like the Accelerated Dragon much better. You grab your fair share of space. Ugh. Ugh. Goes there. Ugh. That looks very risky. Okay, can throw in the check, but he goes here. I think I'll do this. Let's give a check. He absolutely had to go g6. Okay, he has to step forward. I don't think there's a mate, unfortunately. But I think bishop f4 is a great move, setting up all sorts of discoveries on this king. Still not 100% clear how we're going to finish this game off, but we're definitely winning. Hello, Magro Gamer. Good to see you. Does it, Magro Gamer? Well, we're live on both right now, Magro. But why do you think so, Macro? Just curious. Queen f6, okay, makes sense. It's actually a good move. Although we're winning. He's offering the trade. Let's see, I don't have a mate. Because if we go here, all the way. Wait, check here. Check here. He is being taken for a hunt. Wait, check here. Check here. Check here. And mate. Okay, this is very nice. We can give a check. It's a double check, so by definition, he has to move his king. And right, because he cannot block, because it's a double check. He has to go here. He has to go here. We take. He goes here. He goes here. If I check, he goes back. If I take, okay, if he takes, it's made. If he goes bishop b6, I mean, everything is winning at this point, but this might be the fastest. Take, take. King a6, queen c4. Yeah, okay, let's go knight ba3, bring another knight in with check. Here, once again, we see how quickly things can go wrong for black. If they accept the gambit and they don't know what to do. Somebody's asking a question, which one do I like, Bogo or Queen's Indian? I mean, of course the Queen's Indian, because I have a course on that one. Figured I was asking, do I have a resource for getting the best use out of chess base? Even a coach I'd recommend. I mean, I may chess coach myself, but I mean, chess base is great. I guess, yeah, perhaps you would just need someone to walk you through. All right. Anyway, it's going to be checkmate very soon. Queen c4 is coming next against pretty much anything he does. And then queen b5. We can actually already pre-move this and this. Here, it's check and mate. If here, it's check and mate. So yeah, let's give the check. And that's going to be checkmate. I don't like the Taras KD because often you have to deal with isolated pawns. So I don't like it that much. Alright, let's see what he's going to do. Good question. I'm playmaker, but this was a forced checkmate. I think this is better. And actually, I did not sacrifice a knight. It was just a trade. King b6, okay, but bishop c7 is a nice checkmate. Alright, nice stuff. We get a nice win here with white. Okay, let's have a look. So we went d4. Alright, d5, c4, the queen's gambit. He accepted it, but like I said, this can be quite risky. Yeah, the best way to reach out to me for coaching is this email address right here. Alright, so he took, and I played e4, the most ambitious, putting a second pawn in the middle and aiming to regain a pawn. He went here, and now knight f3, which I believe is the theory. He took, I take, and he has to be careful here, as not only is my idea to regain a pawn, but also, since I have a lead in development, I have all of these ideas to attack his king. And here, I think it's just a critical mistake, as now we go knight e5, and it's already lost, as you guys can see from the evil bar. We're hitting the pawn, he has no good way to defend. Because if he goes here, we can simply snap that knight off. That's why I did not go knight g5. Because then knight h6 is available. But yeah. So knight e5, he has no good way to defend. Because bishop b6, which is what he played. Now take, take, and check. But g6 absolutely had to be played. I take. If he would have recaptured, then we take the rook. And we're winning. We're up in exchange and we have an attack. He can go knight f6 to hit my queen. But here queen h3. Quite important. Keeping the pin along the h-file. So if he takes, I can still take here. And we're eyeing this pawn. So if he goes here, this is quite crushing. Alright. But he went here, and now he's running into a devastating attack. Check. Knight c4 is good, but I think this is good as well. Kind of threatening all sorts of discoveries and checkmating attacks here and here. But now check, 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 check. I mean, if your opponent's king is out in the open, you just want to look for checks until it's mate. And now check and mate. And we got a very nice win here with white. Red pawn is asking, Sicilian Accelerated Dragon? Yes, absolutely, that is good for black. I mean, I have a course on that opening, so feel free to check it out. It is on Chessable and on chess.com. On chess.com, by the way, you can get a 30% discount if you have a diamond membership. I can link it in the chat. Give me 1 second. Here. But if you guys enjoy these speedruns, I hope you all do. They're also all uploaded to YouTube. So I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to the YouTube. We're pushing for 18,000 subs right now. We're almost there. So make sure to subscribe. Because like I said, all of the videos will be uploaded to there as well. All right. Hello to the YouTube chatters. All right. Does anyone have any last questions? We're going to wrap up pretty soon. Also, by the way, we have a sponsorship with Cook Unity. They offer some amazing deals, and if you would sign up, it would support the channel a lot. So check it out. Really appreciate it. All right. Thank you to Jason for 2 months of Prime. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome, Jaeger. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I've been teaching this opening to pretty much all of my students for a couple of years, and I'm basically giving you guys the blueprint for a very affordable price, in my humble opinion, for the course. Merry Christmas, Colin. So I'm really happy to hear that the course has been well received. I truly think that this is the perfect opening for beginner, intermediate, you know, everything in that range. So if you have any comments, any feedback about the course, anything I can do to make it even better, I'd be more than happy to hear it. I agree. I think the course is actually too cheap. Because with the video, you can pick it up for $80. And the thing is, my videos are pretty efficient. I go through the lines. I mean, I try to not waste any time. Let's put it that way. So yeah, make sure to check it out. Let me know if anyone has any feedback. Well, but that's also with like hours of video. And for like, what is it? For only $30, you can get it without the video. That's a lot cheaper than a lot of other courses. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's also on chess.com. Here it is on chess.com. On chess.com, by the way, it's even cheaper. On chess.com, you can get it with 30% discount if you have chess.com Diamond. And even the Accelerated Dragon, by the way, perfectly fine opening. Fabiano Caruana played it the other day against Ferrugia. So it's not even like, oh, this is a beginner opening, you have to drop it. No, it's like a perfectly fine opening. So anyway, let me know if anyone has any last questions or comments in the chat. Yeah, Hikaru, but also playing a lot of Accelerated Dragon. When will the next stream be? I don't know, Snow Tiger. Tomorrow I do plan on playing Entitled Tuesday. But I don't know if I will be streaming. Yeah, Caruana got a good position. He got a good position. Where to purchase on chess.com? Here is the link again. I mean, I'd say on chess.com it's an absolute steal. You can pick up the course with video for like $60. I mean, that's basically nothing. But up to you guys. All right. Anyway. Oh, really? Really, Spider? Okay, well, anyway, just wanted to put that on you guys' radar. I mean, only buy it if you think it'll be useful for you. I think it will be. But, you know, ultimately it's up to you guys. And ultimately, the goal is that we all improve. That's also why I'm adding these speedrun videos for free to supplement the course. All right. Oh, with Chessable Pro, it's even cheaper. Oh, nice. We're gonna be wrapping up soon, but we will continue another time. Can I give you guys a taste of the course? I mean, watch the speedrun videos. Watch the speedrun videos. No, you don't have to watch all of it, but just check in here and there. Hopefully that will help. I also, by the way, have I guess in this playlist right here, there's also a video on the Accelerated Dragon. So that will give you perhaps a little sneak peek. Yeah, we're wrapping up Kimchi. Sorry about that. It happens, it happens. Nothing. We're doing okay. Yep. Where's opening called Dragon? Because that Dragon Bishop on G7. Spewing fire on the long diagonal. Anyway, we gotta get going. Thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate all the love and support. Hello, Bradlove. Yeah, indeed, because of that. Thank you, Snow Tiger.